Hi everyone, welcome to Mental Health for the Digital Generation once again. I'm Kristen and good to see you all again. In my last video and blog I talked about what it feels like to have depression. And in this video I want to talk about some ways that you can help a loved one going through depression. How do you deal with somebody going through this if you've never been through it yourself? And I think the problem with the word depression is that people throw it around a lot. You know, they say he's depressed, I'm depressed, I'm feeling depressed about this thing, and they're not actually talking about clinical depression. But if you have somebody who's really going through depression, it's very important that you deal with them in a really supportive and compassionate way, because this will help their recovery. Your initial response might be like, oh, what's wrong? What happened to them? Why are they depressed? But it's not always like that. Some people it might come out of nowhere. Like I said in my last video, extreme sadness is only part of it. So it's not necessarily all the time something's happened and this person is now depressed and sad. It could be like so much more than that. So what do you do if somebody you know has really changed and you think they might be going through depression? I'd research it as much as you can. Find out what the common signs and symptoms are, and if your loved one is showing these, I'd encourage them to get help as soon as possible. They can see that they are changing around the people that they love and they feel like a burden. So I think always, always, always the best approach is to be compassionate to those going through depression. In my experience, the tough love approach doesn't really work. I know that if you are really depressed and then somebody's pushing you and doing the tough love approach and you know, saying that you need to pull yourself out of it, it's really, really hard to deal with that, and it can make you feel even worse. So of course you want to help, and you might feel helpless at times and you don't know what to do, and that can make you frustrated, and that's totally understandable. But I would advise to help someone with really tiny steps. Okay, so if you can see that this person isn't making progress and to you it seems like they're not helping themselves, I would encourage them in a really compassionate way to take small steps and give them that little push. You've got to help somebody, you've got to push them a little bit. Like, I'm not saying to just leave them and let them work it out for themselves, because they can't. When you're really, really depressed, you really need that support. You cannot do it on your own. So, well, you can, but it's a lot harder. If they're going through like quite a dark period where they're not going out and not even getting out of bed, that sort of thing, encourage them to go for a really short walk, like a 10-minute walk together. Just give them that little push. Very caring and not impatient, not judgmental. This like compassionate and kind approach can really help that person because they're already feeling so terrible. Please watch my previous video about what it feels like to have depression, and that was only part of it. It's so bad that you need to put yourself in the mind of somebody going through it. Just another couple of things. Don't be offended if they need some alone time, okay? It's really hard to be social when you're going through this, for some people. So if they're the sort of person that would usually go out and do things with you, try not to take it personally, as hard as that is. It's just the depression can make you feel really antisocial, so it's nothing to do with you. Yeah, also avoid phrases like, you can pull yourself out of this, be positive. It's so much more than that. And I know that you think that might be helping, just to pull yourself out of it, but it's almost impossible. Be patient with them and tell them that you're not going to give up on them. I had people do this for me and it really helped, and I wish that there was somebody for everyone going through it that would say, you know, you're going to get through this, because that's all you want to hear when you're going through a terrible time. So I hope that this was informative once again. I've been doing this for about 3 months now, and I've really loved writing and blogging for Healthy Place. I hope you've enjoyed the videos, and I look forward to seeing you next time.